breaking news coming in. Novak Djokovic loses visa appeal in Australian court. The tennis world number one officially out of the Australian Open. That's the big question. Is he out or is he not? We'll get those answers for you in just about a bit. Australian Federal Court rejects Djokovic's last-ditch appeal to remain in Australia. Tennis star to be deported from Australia. Massive setback coming in for Djokovic. Djokovic also now facing a 3-year visa ban. That's a big setback coming in for Novak Djokovic at the moment. Big question is he out of the Australian Open or not? Australia is going to be deporting Novak Djokovic. That's the big breaking news. If we have Rahul Rawat with us, let's go straight across to Rahul Rawat. Rahul, give us a little bit of background of this entire visa saga when it comes to Novak Djokovic and his vaccination as well. It's a massive setback coming in for Djokovic because he's now going to be deported from Australia. The bigger question here also is he officially out of the Australian Open or is he going to be playing it and then get deported?
Well, absolutely, Chaiti. His hopes of defending his title at the Australian Open and, becoming the world's greatest or, somebody with the most number of Grand Slam titles are over. He's going to be deported and he's not going to defend his Australian Open title. In fact, Australian Open kicks off from tomorrow. That's Monday in Australia. And, what has happened in the last few weeks, on 5th of January, he came to Australia. And a day before that, he had posted an image and a message that said that he has got a medical exemption from the Australian government or the Victorian government in Melbourne. So he comes there. He was questioned for 8 hours. And the border force, the Australian border force, was not convinced about the paperwork that he had submitted, and he was put into a detention hotel in Melbourne. Thereafter, his visa was rejected, and then Djokovic and his lawyers appealed before a court, and subsequently his visa cancellation was again revoked. Now, the Australian immigration minister has a discretionary power that he can revoke anybody's visa on public interest, and that is exactly what Alex Hawke, the immigration minister of Australia, had done. Now, there are a lot of other things also. He had submitted the paperwork. He had lied about his travel history. He was COVID positive in December. Still, he broke the isolation protocol. So there are so many things that he's lied about in that on that all that paperwork that he had done, and now he has blamed it on his agent. He's saying that it was an error of judgment. So a lot of things, and it has actually hit his reputation also. Pretty embarrassing for somebody who is considered to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, of at least this generation in the last 1 decade. So Djokovic now will have to be deported. He will again be sent to an immigration detention center. And you mentioned one thing that once you are deported in Australia, that is what they say. The rules say that you will be denied entry or returning to Australia. You cannot return to Australia for the next 3 years, which means that there is a possibility that once Djokovic is deported, he may not come back to Australia to play the Australian Open for the next 3 years.